Good evening and welcome back to Dilem-Monday. We have made it through to another week. This show is completely unscripted, live, and happening as you speak. So, viewer, whatever, just whatever, do whatever you want with this. Take it or leave it. We have a fun show coming up tonight. We have with us Mr. Aaron Jorgensen from KLOS Guitars, one of the coolest guitars in the industry. We want to talk about why they are, what they are. They're out. I guess I'll start a little bit. They're out of Utah. They're incredible, and I play them every show that I play. So I think that's a.
I see one behind you.
Indeed.
Yeah, I was going to say. Got the old Apollo. Is that what that is hanging up behind you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the old headstock.
The old headstock.
Oh, I forgot. Which by the way, others might not like it. I do.
The 3-3. You're a fan?
It's cool. It's different.
Okay. I mean, no, I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that. I just, like when it comes to electric guitars, I will let you know I am. We were just talking before we came on here that I think it's okay to like other brands and see what other brands are doing. And there's a brand that starts with an F that I tend to really like. But if people want to see our newer headstock, hold on, I've got this guy right here. So this is what the new headstock.
That wasn't prepared or anything.
What's that?
That wasn't prepared or anything.
No, it wasn't. Actually, that's why there's a Breedlove guitar hanging in the back. Is this just happened to be here because I'm working on building a telly using this neck.
Ooh.
Don't you have a Fender, Corey, that has a close carbon fiber neck as well?
I do have a company that starts with an F that I did replace the neck.
Yeah, they're not getting any plugs in this episode while I'm here. They gotta pay you guys about that.
A company with 3 single coils in the guitar there. That's what went on. It was good. I play that every show.
But yeah, no, I think it's really cool today because I really wanted to talk about KLOS because we've told you some stories, but since I've spoken to you, we had another guitar, brand new actually, that actually split in half that we sent back today.
Yeah.
Which, even more reason in certain climates why the carbon fiber is a necessity to have. I mean, I really truly believe that because, I don't want to mention the brand because we deal that brand. So I don't want to say anything bad about that brand. And to be honest, the minute we told them something happened, we were able to ship it back. They're going to ship us a new one to sell. But literally we had it for about 10 days and hanging in a humidified spot.
Yeah.
And we had a crack dead center. We have more problems with Dreadnought guitars, acoustic, than any other thing that we have.
Yeah, and I mean, I work for a carbon fiber company, so I'll sing the praises of carbon fiber. But at the end of the day, like I'm also a luthier. Like I've worked with wood. I was trained on how to fix and build guitars that are made out of wood. So the carbon fiber is kind of a new thing to me. I got nothing bad to say about wood guitars. Matter of fact, you can see my Breedlove hanging here in the back. As much as I love that guitar, though, it has issues because I live in one of the driest states in the U.S., which is exactly where KLOS was born out of. Is we have so many issues with the guitars, and how dry it is here. So the carbon fiber really does just make a guitar that is lower maintenance.
And that's huge. And because we're in New England.
Yeah.
We have that hot, cold, super dry, different kinds of heat. You have electric heat, you have furnace heat, steam heat.
Yeah.
going in from one gig to another,
It's
as we
hot.
told you. Well, that's the thing. It's freezing cold when you're getting out of the car, and then you're walking into, let's say, a restaurant, and you're next to a fireplace, because that's literally what happened in one of our deals, and with a very expensive high-end, well, that one we don't deal them, so I can say how, with Corey's J45 Gibson Standard.
Mm-hmm.
That's a $3,000 guitar. It's extremely high-end. Literally went from a very cold setting, went inside, beautiful restaurant, pizza place, high-end, restaurant there too. It had the ovens right by the fireplace, super warm. Corey played, went back outside later that night, stayed in a hotel. The next morning when we opened up the case, which by the way had a humidifier in the case, the guitar, and we brought it into the hotel. We didn't leave it outside. The guitar had split straight down the middle. So we also had a carbon fiber that day. We had a KLOS guitar.
Yeah.
We had the Dreadnought guitar with us, and no issues at all. And luckily we had it because we had a recording session on Long Island, and without it, we don't have a guitar because the J45 snapped.
Yeah.
So,
But I was gonna say enough with another people though.
well, I just want people to understand how good the KLOS is. And by the way, the other thing
that was
is,
going to be my next question. Give us the intro, like give us the beginner, the elevator pitch of what KLOS is. What's the for our audience here and abroad? What's the Emma?
So I'll give you the elevator pitch, and I'll give you the future of the company. How's that? Okay. So the elevator pitch so far is the company is built out of, like I said, one of the driest states in the U.S. It's trying to create a guitar that is more resilient, that is pushing boundaries, and that is more innovative. So we wanted to create something that is not just a novelty, like, hey, we built a guitar and, oh yeah, it's made of carbon fiber and, that's cool and cute and all. But we wanted to make something that was a legitimate guitar, that's a contender, that sounds good, that performs well, that is reliable, and it's low maintenance. You don't have to, think about, am I putting this next to this pizza oven, or am I putting this next to, in a cold car or whatever else. But then as far as the future of the company goes, eventually the owners of the company really want to start working in a direction where what people really say is, this guitar sounds incredible, this guitar feels incredible, everything about this guitar is credible. It is incredible. It is just a great guitar all around. By the way, it's made of carbon fiber. We want to move away from the carbon fiber guitar company. We want to be just a killer guitar company. By the way, they're made of carbon fiber.
and then that's definitely something. And by the way, I guess we started researching KLOS guitars initially 2 years ago. Actually, in a hunt for a high-end mandolin.
Yeah.
And you guys were just at the stage at that point doing the prototype style A mandolins.
Yeah.
And the pricing that I saw on it was amazing. And then you guys had gotten one together for NAMM. And we saw it, not this year's NAMM, but the year before's NAMM.
Yeah.
The prototype was there. Corey played it. It was phenomenal. But when we're at the booth, we discovered the rest of KLOS guitars. From the electric to the acoustic. And, the other thing that people don't realize, they don't go out of tune. I mean, everything's going to go a little bit out. But in comparison to any other guitar. And the sound, it's not exactly like wood, just so everybody understands it.
It's its own
But that's
thing.
not good nor bad. It's a very pleasing, really nice sound. But Corey, go ahead. You know.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I think the thing I've always felt about it, it's that thing you never realized you needed in your rig and in your collection, but it's not like any other guitar. It's its own thing. It's its own beast. It how it's crafted, how it sounds. It's the fact that you're getting a guitar that both looks good and sounds good. As stupid as it sounds, that's not as common as it should be.
Yeah,
but it is.
It's one of those things where, and the mandolin. It's funny that you point that one out because I'm not a mandolin player, but I listen to a lot of like bluegrass and roots music. I know what a good mandolin should sound like, and the first time I heard our mandolin, I was floored by how good it sounds. One of the funny things about carbon fiber is it does provide a little bit more brightness in the mix, which to me, I mean, you can tell from behind me, I do some, mixing and home recording and things like that. I think having something that is bright and snappy and lively really adds a lot of life to your mixes. To me, the carbon fiber instruments stand out in a mix so well.
No, they do. And the other thing, you guys also have the nickel. Explain the difference between the carbon fiber and the carbon timber. The carbon timber, yes.
Oh yeah. You guys, I'm sure, are very excited to hear about carbon timber because I know there's a carbon timber guitar coming to you guys. But the cool thing about carbon timber, I mean, first of all, I'm from Utah. I've lived in Utah my whole life. My family has been in Utah for generations. We love it here. It's just for people that love the outdoors. It's an incredible place. We've got the mountains right here, and it's so beautiful. So it's really cool to me that carbon timber is actually sourced from right here in Utah. So we get these fibers that are infused with nickel, and it's up on a spool, and very like kind of shiny. It almost looks like metallic thread. We take that, and then what you do is you have, with normal carbon fiber, the carbon fiber most people are used to seeing, it's a twill pattern, and so it's woven back and forth. With a unidirectional carbon fiber, all of your fibers are running the same direction. So on our carbon timber, we take this nickel infused fiber, and then we run it unidirectionally, so it almost gives the appearance of wood, but it's almost like a metal wood. Like, it's really cool when you finally see it because it looks like if a tree was made out of nickel.
Yeah, it's something like space age kind of cool. And
Yeah.
I'll give another thing that happened at NAMM. So KLOS had two different displays. We actually were talking to Lee Oscar about it, how smart you guys were. So they had a top floor display that got a lot of traffic, but it's really loud upstairs.
Yeah.
And they were an brilliant place to be, high traffic area. You had, Martin Guitars right over there, which really
By the door.
Yeah, it's one of the largest booths, but it has a giant amount of foot traffic over there. And then you had the Lee Oscar booth, you had KMC over there, you had some major players right over there. Great spot. The only thing is, if you really want to hear the intricacies and feel and see the differences, having another spot, which
Especially
they did. Yeah, especially on the acoustic. Yeah. Downstairs, there's another area of the convention hall that they had, which is a quiet area, much quieter.
Yeah.
And you could go down there and check out the different guitars, especially the newer ones that you're not as familiar with. And Corey went down with myself and Davey Blues. And Corey picked up this 12-string with the nickel, the timber fiber.
Yeah, carbon fiber.
The,
Carbon
yes.
timber.
Carbon timber,
I
yes.
know,
Carbon
I know.
timber, yes. And he had the 12 string. Davey Blues picks up the 6 string. And all of a sudden they start messing around. And when they started messing,
into this guitar. I melted into it. I started playing it. I felt like I was melting.
And this was the time that we had that guy came over out of nowhere, and he just started an impromptu like harmonica jam, and so all of you guys are just going, and you just have people coming over like taking video of what's going on. I mean, that's one of the fun things about NAMM is it just evolved into a jam session.
yeah, they started playing some Allman Brothers, and it just started going wild down there. And at that moment, by the way, Corey knew he was getting that 12 string was going to be part of. we will be selling them. We will be owning them. And hopefully we'll have ours very shortly to show everybody in the showroom next week or this week even. But
it shipped out, so it's on its way to you.
So it you know, and the other thing about a 12 string, James, do you have any 12 strings?
I do not. All I know is that it's going to be too heavy for me to try to play.
Well, but here's the thing about carbon fiber or carbon timber. It's stupid light.
Yep.
The next time you come over, you've got it. It's incredibly light. That's the other thing. If you're playing a 3 or 4 hour show, there's probably no better guitar to play, either electric or especially acoustic.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it doesn't go out of tune. The 12 string, I mean, 6 string goes out. 12 string really goes out of tune. This thing doesn't do that. And it has this phenomenal sound. And the carbon timber does sound a lot more like wood than the carbon fiber does.
Yeah, that's another thing we found with that nickel infused fiber. It really just adds a lot of that like woody warmth back into the instrument, which is amazing.
Yeah, it gives a whole other thing. And then there's a pickup that's coming in this particular 12 string. Aaron, tell what that pickup does.
So that is the high vibe pickup. That's like one of our top of the line pickup that we offer. It's really cool because you've got almost like a little touch screen on the side of the guitar, but you get high quality effects that are built right into the guitar, and the sound of those effects actually comes right through the sound hole. There's almost like a speaker system that's inside of the guitar, and so if you select, hey, I want reverb, then you strum your guitar and you've got reverb coming through the sound hole. Or you can get delay, you can connect a phone, you can loop the guitar, so you can set up a loop. It's really a fun pickup and a really great tool for a performing musician.
I mean, that right there, it said a lot, but it's funny, going back to the playing, Davey Blues is playing it, and it was hard for me to tell him, and he's played Corey's carbon fiber before, but once he started playing it, he started wailing on it. Like, he loved it.
Yeah.
And, we have a lot of time now on the acoustic side, but then there's the electric side. And again, for the guys who were in New England or in the Northwest or South, where it's really hot, really cold, we played in Vermont 2 weeks ago. It was snowing all 3 days that we're there. Friday night, it's a snowstorm. It's below zero. No one wants to unpack your guitars. You don't want to unpack and bring it back in. But if you have wood guitars, you have to.
Oh, yeah.
If you have carbon fiber, guess what you don't have to do? You don't have to take it out of the car. And let me tell you what, Saturday night, 2 weeks ago, it was -7 below with freezing rain and snow. And I wasn't taking it out. First of all, I couldn't even get out of the car. The locks were jammed shut from the.
It was so cold.
It was freezing.
Oh my
And you know
gosh.
what didn't happen? Anything to the guitars. They were
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It's
fine.
the KLOS Instagram, you can still go on there. And I remember seeing a video, and I think they use it in some ads and stuff, where they just took, Utah, I'm a skier, so greatest snow on earth, right? Anyone else can debate me on that, but I'm just going to put it out there, Utah, greatest snow on earth. But in a blizzard, they just took one of our KLOS guitars, popped it out in the snow, and then took like an overnight video of it just getting covered. Go outside, pick it up the next day. I wouldn't say that we recommend leaving your gear outside in snowstorms, but they stand up pretty well.
No, and the other thing that I really wanted to talk about was cost versus price on it.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to a mandolin.
His shape.
Wait, what?
His shape.
I can't understand what you're
A
saying.
mandolin?
Oh, you're not funny. Don't take up humor. You're a musician. Please don't. You're not funny. Looks or something, but
Your genetics.
no, you take after your mother on the not funny side. But anyway, a really good mandolin on the wood side, your Gibson, starts at around $5,000.
Yeah.
And your really high end is about 15 grand or higher. 20 grand actually.
Yeah, I think it's 20 for the.
Yeah, it's
the high-end
20.
Gibson.
For the high end Gibson, it's 20.
Yeah.
Corey has a story about that in Nashville when we went to go play it. We went to the Gibson store, the Gibson Garage, it's called.
Oh.
We went to the Great Gibson Garage, and unfortunately, I don't know how to read very well. I missed one of the nines. I saw a 1999, not 19,999.
Oh.
So Corey's playing. He's like, Dad, this is sweet. I'm like, hey, $2,000, go ahead, buy it. No problem. And then we realized that, no, it was 20,000. I said, put it back. Quickly.
It sounded like angels weeping.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
You could get the KLOS mandolin. I think the lowest end starts just around $2,000, right? And it goes up to about 3,000
it's
something.
kind of $2,000 to $3,000, and really what it comes down to is there is one mandolin, but you get a lot of different variations. So it kind of starts with the just acoustic carbon fiber mandolin, no frills, nothing else. And we have 3 different pickup options. So you can get it with the K&K. You can get it with our own KLOS transducer that we install in there. And then there's a third one that has a preamp on the side. Like I said earlier, I'm not a mandolin player, so I didn't realize until I started talking to mandolin players, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's an EQ on the side. I can actually control my tone from right here." I guess as a guitar player, we just got very spoiled with that, and so that's a very unique thing. But we do offer the mandolin in that carbon timber as well. Most of our instruments, acoustic instruments, come with carbon timber.
So, Aaron, what's the normal lead time if someone wants to get a carbon timber versus a carbon fiber?
Carbon timber, I would have to look at the production schedule to definitively say, but I mean, couple of months depending. I know we've got a big shipment of carbon timber coming, or the materials we need to make carbon timber, I should say. So we have a lot of the carbon timber materials coming in. I'm hoping they'll be here this week, a little bit later this week. So matter of fact, for our Grand Cutaways and our Grand Cutaway Minis, which are 2 of my favorite acoustic guitars that we make, we just got a bunch of carbon timber material to build those. So I'm getting really excited to see those.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. So anybody that's a guitar player, James a guitar player, Corey, Aaron, I don't understand why you would not have a travel KLOS guitar. And I don't care what your preference is for any other thing, but if you're a typical guitar player noodler who can't sit still, has to have the damn guitar in their hand all the time. Yes, I'm talking about you, Brother Dave, Jack Tucker, all the guys that play in this band at some point on it, Randy, Ryan, everybody that's ever played in this band. Why would you not have that guitar? You could just leave it in your car. You never have to do it. Just leave it in your car. You're never without a guitar. Doesn't matter the weather. It doesn't matter. And it sounds great. Corey, remember you played the travel guitar that one time at we were bored. We were up in Albany.
Oh yeah, that's right. At that random open mic that just happened to be there. It was something. This place was out of a bad movie too. Like, it was great. And
we're talking like the fence in front of the stage, and they're throwing the beer bottles and everything.
It looked like years ago it probably had one of those. It looked like Roadhouse from years ago. Absolutely.
And I was like, I actually do have a guitar on me. Why don't we just go? And it was a hell of a joint.
And with the travel guitar, unfortunately, well, fortunately or not, you guys got an order that day. We didn't get it. One of the guys was there, and he wanted it right then and there. And he bought it. He went on the site. Corey showed him how to go on the site, and the guy bought it right then and there.
Sweet. Hey, as long as people are playing KLOS guitars, like, I'm jazzed. Doesn't matter if they get it from me, if they get it direct on the website, where as long as people are playing KLOS, like, I'm good.
And that was it. We weren't going to be like, well, wait for us to get home. We'll ship it to you. You know what, dude? You want it right now? Let me show you how to get it. And he bought that from Troy, New York, right by Albany. And but my point on the travel guitar, the parlor guitar, guys, I don't know what else to tell you. It could stay in the car all the time. And you could throw crap all over. I mean, I'm not telling you to throw crap on top of it and stuff like that.
Not recommended.
I don't recommend it, but I'm going to tell you nothing's going to happen if you do it.
Exactly. I can't officially endorse that statement, but
we're also not.
You also can just take the neck.
The other thing about the travel guitar that's really nice is, I mean, there's been a big boom in the industry. A lot of people are making, little travel guitar stuff that you can fly with, and they're small compacts, but they don't always sound great. The thing about the KLOS Travel is it will fit under the seat on an airplane, most airplanes. It'll fit in an overhead bin. It's extreme. I mean, the gig bags that we have, you can fold the neck portion of the gig bag down into it. The body fits in there. Our necks bolt off, and it comes with a sleeve that clips to the side. So you get a regular size backpack that your guitar fits in. You get to your destination, fold the neck back on, good to go. And that's all of our acoustics. But the travel is by far the most compact and easiest to fly with.
It's, and I'll tell you something funny when he comes in the box, you're like, what the hell is this? There's no guitar in here. It's a tiny little box.
Where are the necks?
Yeah.
I will say we do get that a lot. Most times when you order a guitar from pretty much anyone, you get a box that's, about this tall. It's gigantic, but with the KLOS guitars, we found that the way that these are designed, because they were brilliantly designed by one of our founders, Ian Klosoviak. That's where the name comes from, KLOS. But Ian designed these guitars so that the necks can come off, go back on, and a lot of people get really scared about that. They think that, if I was to remove the neck off of any of my guitars that I've got over here, putting it back on is, I got to make sure everything lines back up straight. I got to make sure the neck angle is right. With our guitars, it's off, it's back on, good to go.
So you addressed what was going to be one of my questions this evening. The proper pronunciation of the name of the brand.
I will say it's so the founders are Polish. The closest language I speak would, and when I say speak, I mean speak extremely poorly, would be German. Um, so the line over the O gives you that O sound. It's close, just like this object is close to me.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of different pronunciations of it, but yeah, it's close guitars, just like we're close as in distance, I guess.
Perfect.
Good to know.
Because
Hey, Corey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get on the thing, and I can get on, but it's only showing me the YouTube. I can't get on through Facebook, and it's not allowing me to see any comments.
I think it's because there haven't been any.
No, but it's only YouTube right now. It's not coming in Facebook, is what I'm telling you. There's no way to make any comments. You could watch it on Facebook, but you can't see it on Facebook.
See, I've got it where it's able to, but that's
Mine says YouTube on it.
you gotta love technology tonight.
Yeah, but I just because normally, so I don't know how many people are actually. Usually I can see like hundreds, and I can't see anything because it's only coming in as YouTube.
I don't see any comments either.
So is yours coming through YouTube or Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay, see, mine says YouTube on it,
You're just
which
special.
is weird.
That's weird.
Evidently I am, but I'm on the show, and like I saw Steph liked it, and Steph's usually the one makes 9 million copies. I mean, aha. Okay, I thank you, Corey. You sent it to me this way. Now I can actually see it.
There we
I
go.
was not able to do that before. So, okay, cool.
Oh, shit! That's not what I meant to send.
That's not what you meant to send me?
I didn't meant to send that to us. I meant to send that into our various group chats. That this is going.
That would
into.
be good. Yes. I just saw something about 9 million copies. But back to the other thing that I did see when I was at NAMM the year before, the KLOS booth had a lot of people there, had a ton of people there, and one was one of your major competitors came over.
Okay, now I want to know which competitor it is.
Emerald.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, competition obviously exists in the industry. I think that one of the things that just naturally happens is everyone finds their place. When KLOS first started out, we were kind of at a lower price point. We were kind of trying to compete in that space. Whereas one of the things that we found is that just really putting and investing time in quality, both materials, but also we've got an incredible production team right now that is right here in Utah, putting these guitars together, making these finishing touches, things like we bought a Plek machine. For anyone that's not familiar with the Plek machine, it's kind of like a CNC router. It's a machine that goes through and it makes sure that all of our frets are perfectly even. It makes sure that all of our nut slots are cut to the perfect depth. But then we have a really great neck processing team that will take those frets once they're perfectly leveled, and they'll round those edges so you get that nice smooth feel as you're going up the neck. They'll make sure that the nuts don't feel blocky, that they're nice and rounded on all the corners where anyone might touch that nut. So it really did make sense for us to just make sure that we fit into this point where we're trying to keep the price in like a reasonable area for most buyers, but making sure that the quality is best in the industry.
And I think that's important. I think anybody that's ever been an independent, and I know, Aaron, you've owned your own stores. I've been an independent contractor, owned my own businesses my whole life. And you got to get price wins. There's a difference between cost and price, right? The best price gets you the quality and everything together. Low cost, not necessarily. And in the guitar business, and just being with Corey and being around this for a while, there are differences. For those people who say that the $300 guitar is just as good as... Now, look, if you're a great player, you can make anything sound good. Okay, let's go there. But there is a but to it. I've seen what some of the guys can do on these phenomenal guitars, and I've seen how they hold up too to the rigors of playing all the time.
Yeah.
And and it does matter the pickups that you put in the guitar. It does matter the tuners. It does matter. All those things matter. And then the ease of use. Look, one of the reasons Corey brings KLOS Guitars is because it's easier. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, Corey, give your reasoning.
It's easier to EQ that guitar. It's got its own thing going. And plus the natural sound it has, it carries. It's like, I'm not just trying to blow smoke up the company's ass, but listen, it's easy to control. You know what? You want to treat the acoustic like it's an electric. You can have some fun with it because it doesn't overstimulate as an instrument. It's great. It's perfect. It is a perfect instrument. It is the instrument. You are getting the notes you are playing out. It is a player's guitar.
And understand this. Corey has 92 guitars. It's not a lie. He has 92 guitars. Okay? James, you've been there. You could attest that there are...
I can attest to that. I also thought he said he reached 100.
I thought we were close to it. Not.
We are not quite there. There are 3 that are on order right now, one being the KLOS on its way.
Yeah, so you are close to it. Sorry.
We are very close to it.
That's mildly close fun. That's the only one you guys get.
That is true. But the bottom line is, and for those who know Corey's collection, he's got some pretty nice guitars there.
He sure does.
And he chooses to perform with the KLOS guitar. And by the way, we represent a lot of companies, guitar companies. Corey chooses to use the KLOS guitar. He might have another one with him from another company, no doubt. Like Aaron has the Breedlove over there, who might also be a company that we might represent. But Corey brings the KLOS every single gig.
Yeah.
And he took that other company with the F, and he did change the neck and put the carbon fiber neck on there. And he has a Frankenstein guitar that we talked to you about that's being custom made. John Nagel is putting together something that will be special. And it will have a carbon fiber KLOS neck on it.
Yeah. Like you mentioned before, I owned a retail store here in Utah called Guitars. Great shout out. I have a lot of background in the music industry. I'm a performing artist here in Utah. I've played the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. I've played the Whiskey A Go Go in LA. Along with all of that stuff, I'm also a luthier. So I do a lot of repair work, but I build electrics, and I build in the style of, we'll say Fender. We could drop the F company thing if we want. But anyways, so I build Strats and I build Tellys because those are the guitars that I like. That style of guitar. I think Leo got it right by, taking, years of what was considered good practice in the guitar world of kind of taking the neck and tilting it up towards a higher bridge. And he said, no, I want to bolt on so that these two are parallel. I think that those style of guitars with that kind of bolt-on neck and that are designed in that way feel lower and they feel more consistent across the whole fingerboard. So I've built guitars, Strat and Tele style guitars for years, but as soon as I found out about the close necks, I thought to myself, okay, now I get a reliable carbon fiber neck with stainless steel frets that I don't have to fret dress, by the way, because they're all cut on the Plek machine, so I don't have to kill my hands, but I get all the benefit of stainless steel frets. They come with the tuners already installed, and I don't ever have to carve another neck by hand again. That's the only thing I build with anymore is just close F-Series necks. That's all I want to deal with. And now I just, I build bodies. I can build necks. I get to wear that badge and I get to have that line on my resume, but I don't have to bother with it anymore, and it's fantastic.
So the other product that I wanted you to talk about were some of the bases that you guys have come out with.
Yeah.
And some of the colors now. Because it's not just your carbon fiber basic color anymore. The KLOS bases are hot.
Yeah, they're doing extremely well. We are trying to get these things out as fast as we possibly can. They've been incredibly popular in like the YouTube review sphere. They've been very popular with customers, and they've been very popular with quite a few of my dealers. I still have a few that haven't brought them in yet, or just are kind of on the fence about it. So I'm telling them, you can't sleep on these. They're incredible. But yeah, it really what it came out of is the success we saw with the F-Series necks, with how popular they were and how highly people were praising these. They got together and said, okay, well, we need to take these necks that are such a success, and we need to build a bass or a guitar, because we do electric guitars as well. We need to build an instrument around this neck. And just like with the F-Series necks, they really knocked these out of the park. And it's funny you mentioned the colors. The bass guitars, my favorite color that we have is gold. I like gold guitars. I don't do the black, the white, and the sunburst. I have to have neon pinks and turquoise and stuff like that on my guitars. But the gold bass that we do is just drop dead gorgeous.
Wow. See, now
So that gold color. What other instruments? That gold color. Are there any other KLOS instruments it comes in?
Yes, there's a lot. Coincidentally, they're all some of my favorites. So we have the Vector, which is really fun. If you like the V-shaped guitars, man, it's cool because the Vector, it kind of takes that V shape, but instead of being just like a straight V, it's kind of cut off at the ends, and it has this like very like geometrically interesting look to it. And you mentioned that you like that 3-3 headstock, like is on the guitar behind you there. They still
and there's a reason.
What was that?
So the big reason I like the 3-on-3 from KLOS.
Yeah.
When you're on stage, you're not hitting anybody.
Oh
no, like the practicality of it's great. Like I can throw that one around a little bit, and get dramatic, look like Prince and whatnot, because it's not the headstock. I'm not going to accidentally knock someone's eye out.
I do remember you hitting Diane in the head at the now defunct Revolution. Speaking of Prince, the Revolution. But we were playing at the old Revolution, Hi Dave Black, hello Robin. It used to be a really great club, and unfortunately it didn't make it through the pandemic. And Corey's running around on stage, flipping his stuff around, and poor Diane was subbing in at bass for us that night. Corey whales her in the head with the freaking guitar.
So that is what I like about the KLOS 3-on-3.
All right. Well, the Vector, there you go. I mean, I guess the other two sides are kind of pointy.
I might poke someone's stomach out, but it's all good.
But like I said, they're kind of squared off at the end. So really, it's the if you need a V-shaped guitar, That's the sneaky version of a V-shaped guitar right there. That's the child-proof one.
You know,
Or the
that's
Corey proof.
truly.
Remind me not to play
I
bass.
noticed it's different than a traditional V, let's say. It does look space aged. It's much cooler. It's also not like like the kind of V that makes you want to wear a T-shirt with a font that doesn't actually look legible and is covered in blood and goats on it.
And it doesn't weigh 400 pounds either.
That's
which
actually true.
the Gibson and the Dean product both weigh a lot.
Yeah, one thing I will say about not just the basses, but so our electric basses and our electric guitars, between the carbon fiber necks, we also selected all of the woods because we still use a wood body on the electrics, and that we haven't moved to like a carbon fiber, but we wanted to select woods and combinations of woods and things that would keep the guitars lightweight. Most of our basses are right around 7 pounds, and you get up to the 6-string bass, and I think they max out somewhere around 8, or their lightest is around 8. But that was the thing. My favorite thing of the entire NAMM show, because we were up at that high traffic upstairs booth you were talking about. My favorite thing was handing people our guitars and basses and watching them go, wow, that is light. Yeah, exactly. Corey was one of those people. I mentioned that because every chance I got, it was just me handing somebody a guitar and saying, feel this. And every single person, I can't believe how light that is.
And look, when you're playing a 3 or 4 hour show, especially in the summertime when it's 90 degrees out, 100 degrees out,
that's you don't.
How often do you play your Gibson Les Paul?
It looks really nice in the room.
Well, Corey said it looks really nice in his room.
I will tell you, I have a 74, and I'm not a big, the company that starts with a G. I'm not a big, like I said, I like my Fender style guitars. It's a personal preference thing. I got nothing against any other brand, really. But this 74 Les Paul custom that belonged to my grandpa, and so it's an heirloom. It's something that's part of my family, and
Sure.
He's the reason I got into playing guitar. But it weighs 13 pounds.
Yeah.
A KLOS electric guitar is under 7. Like we're talking like 6.8, 6.9 ish. I forget the exact number, but if I'm playing a 3-hour gig, guess which one I'm going to reach for.
Well, that's the thing.
The weight distribution on the KLOS is nice too. Like the neck with the neck, how you even hold it, it just keeps you more comfortable. And plus, if you use a nice strap, you're golden. You can use a cheap strap, you're still golden.
And look, I'm not gonna lie that G company that Gibson, Corey has a Gibson Les Paul Modern, and it's beautiful looking. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the best sounding electric guitars I've ever heard. And it weighs a little bit less than the regular Les Paul. It does.
Yeah. And it's obnoxious bright red too, which is
it's gorgeous guitar. And if it's a 1 hour show in the summer, you better bring it out, because it's a phenomenal. But if he has to play a 3-hour show, or we're traveling to 3 different places in 2 days, no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
it's too nice a guitar, or it's too expensive, it's too heavy, and it's just not something that should be. And that's the difference. And like I said, it's not that the KLOS guitar isn't beautiful and gorgeous, but it was meant to take a little beating, and it's light and play it. And again,
it's space age.
It's what?
Yeah. Space age.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Innovative.
And I'll tell you, we just got the the Electric Technology ET22, which is a square rectangular-ish, looks like a picture frame amp. That's only 16 pounds also. has no speaker inside. It's kind of made with like almost like a
like a
opposite of a
sound
ribbon
ribbon.
technique. Sound ribbon. Between that and the KLOS, I mean, what a great thing. You could walk in, no problem. You got your guitar, you got that. And by the way, that's good for electric and acoustic. Because normally most people know you have to have like separate, amps for different things. And that
With
thing's
what I
pretty
was saying
cool.
before too is how the flat sound I described the cutaway, and really just the close sound in general, on top of the 22, which is also this like flat, good flat, beautiful flat, perfect pedal platform, and I'll say that with the KLOS guitars too. Perfect pedal platform guitars, because again, you're getting literally just what you're playing. You're getting that. So that amp with that guitar, sick.
Yeah. And by the way, I know Aaron's got to leave at 9, so we got about 7 minutes left with
And
Aaron.
I have a major question, but yeah, continue.
But
Okay.
the last half an hour, James will be featured in telling why the Yankees suck. And why the medical staff for the New York Yankees all need to be fired immediately, and how it's possible that we could lose 3 All-Stars before the season even starts. Right, but we'll get to there. We have a half an hour to destroy Brian Cashman's poor management of the New York Yankees and their staff, but. We have about 5 or 6 minutes left of Aaron, so I wanted to make sure that we get Corey. What was your question?
Big question. So my big question is that Utah born and bred, Arches, Canyonland, Bryce, Capitol Reef, Zion, 5 to rated from lowest to highest. What are your ratings and why?
Oh no, that's
You're gonna get him in trouble.
I know, man. I'm gonna get some hate for this one. Okay, I can tell you, Zion is the most. Man, okay, I'm gonna piss people off here. Zion is incredible. I love it. I've got a friend that lives in Hurricane, which is right outside of there. We'll go mule riding. He's got mules, and we'll go, riding through there. My first honeymoon, when my wife and I got married, we were just house poor. We had just bought a house. We were like, we got to do something for our anniversary, so we went to Zion, and it was beautiful. I think it's the most overrated park, but just because everyone kind of talks about how great it is, okay? And we all know Zion is cool.
The tunnel is very overrated. The dopey tunnel is overrated.
It is what it is. Yeah. Angel's Landing though is like right before they started limiting how many people could go up Angel's Landing. I went the year before and it was just stunning, incredible. Bryce Canyon is the most underrated. People do not go to Bryce Canyon as much as they should, but I feel like half of Utah is like now telling me like, shut up, shh, don't tell anyone. We're good. Utah's full, everybody. It's a barren desert. You don't want to be here. Utah's full. Don't even bother coming. But no, I love sharing the natural beauty of the state. So Capitol Reef, I think, is my personal favorite, and that's for reasons because I own my family has this farmhouse that's in a town of 12 houses. Still has the old wood fences from the 1800s. The house was built in 1889, I think. And it is cowboy as it gets. It is actually, funny thing is, speaking of like the Old West, my great however many greats grandmother grew up in and around this. It wasn't this house, but like near this town. She used to play with Butch Cassidy's little sister. They were best friends.
Oh God, it's so freaking cool.
So yeah, my family's from that area. It's Circleville is where he's from, and so we're all kind of from that central Utah area. But Capitol Reef is not that far. It's like 45 minutes from our little cabin there. There's a little town called Torrey that's in between that we'll stop and it's called Slackers that you can get a burger and a milkshake, and it's a good time. And the fishing down there is incredible too. If you go one way to Capitol Reef, you go the other way to great fishing. But once again, everyone in Utah is telling me like, shh.
Well, I'll tell you, go ahead. You finish your.
Oh yeah, no. As far as the others, like I haven't been recently. I'll have to admit it. I should be going, but Arches is really cool. I mean, like honestly, going to all 5 national parks at some point in your life is definitely worth it. It's been years since I've been to the other 2, but my wife and I were talking. We're probably going to try to go this summer.
Corey and I went with my wife, and last summer, and boy, we keep religion and politics off the show.
I was gonna say, you literally beat me to it. Like, I don't ever get preachy on this show, but if you ever needed the proof of some kind of higher existence, there it is.
And to
there's no doubting it.
What Aaron said, Bryce Canyon. Bryce is just, it's gorgeous. It's breathtaking.
I cried.
Yeah, it's and I've said it on the show before. I went as a teenager with my parents.
Yeah.
And I did not get it. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I had to. I apologized to my parents last summer. May they rest in peace and everything. They took me to this place that is so special and so magnificent. And I was a bratty teenager dummy who didn't understand these 2 people who grew up in New York City, Brooklyn, and the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming out to God's country.
Yeah.
And my mother every few seconds was, oh my God, and I'm making fun of her because I thought it was just silly what she was saying, and I wasn't seeing it in her eyes. I didn't get what she was saying. And when I went there with Corey, and I went there, and my daughter was doing stuff. She wasn't with us. She eventually met us, but she was out there. I was like, please don't ever do what I did that time. Please take your time and realize how magnificent this part of the country is and what a beautiful, beautiful place this is. And I'm going to tell you, it was one of my... I travel all the time. People know I travel all over the world. That had to be one of my favorite trips I've ever been on last summer. It meant a lot, and it's just a special place to be. So I highly recommend to anybody to go out there, and don't be a stupid teenager. That's what I have to say.
Well, I will say, if you want to bring a little bit of Utah home to you, go to one of your local dealers and pick up a KLOS guitar. You can go to KLOSguitars.com and check out the dealer page. Or if you want to come out to Utah and check one out here, But one thing I will say to that, Craig, is when I was a little kid, my dad took me to Bryce. He took me, like I said, I'd been to the other 2 when I was younger. I've been to Arches. I've been to, Zion before. I'd been to all of them when I was a little kid. And I just wanted to get back in the car and start playing my Game Boy again because I didn't get it. But it's funny that when you discover nature for yourself, you start to remember those times that you had with your family, showing you how beautiful this planet is. And I will say the state of Utah in particular is definitely no slouch. But you start to realize how right they were. My dad had us always camping and hiking and skiing, and now to this day I can't get outdoors enough because he instilled that in me at a young age. And so one of the cool things, if I'm going to loop it back around to KLOS Guitars, is everyone that I know, everyone that I work with, we are all outdoorsy. We're talking to each other like, hey man, did you go skiing? How was the snow at this place? How was, this? Did you go hiking? Like we're always talking about the cool stuff we're doing. And it's kind of fun because it permeates into the brand. You can see in how durable and how worthy of the outdoors these guitars can be in how we spend our off time.
No, I think that's probably the best summation and summary for the product and Utah itself, and it's made in America. It's a great product. We're happy that we represent them as well, and you can buy them from Corey and I, just so you all know.
Yes.
But it's phenomenal product, and I know it's 9:03. I know you had to get off the call at 9:00. So thank you for staying the extra few minutes, and you won't have to hear James cry because James.
I'll be fine.
I'm worried about James right now.
I'll be fine. Believe me.
So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for having me, and for everybody watching, hit up Craig and Corey. They'll get you a KLOS guitar. They'll hook you up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, James.
Yeah. Do I really need to? Do I really need to break it up?
Well, let's see. And by the way, that was great, and I was happy that Aaron got on. But now let's go to the not fun part of this show. Not that James is talking, but what he's going to be discussing. What happened to the strength of our team in 2 weeks?
This is probably one of the worst spring trainings I've ever experienced in my life. Where not one, not two, 3 elite players go down at the same time with literally the same exact injury.
Yeah, let's see. We lost our Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and Best Playoff Player.
In like 2 weeks.
Now, here's what I don't understand. Okay. Mr. Stanton had elbow issues all off season. Why do we wait until spring training to bring up that we might not be able to play and that we might need surgery now? Couldn't we do that in October, November?
December, January? We wanted to keep going further? I don't understand why people wait until literally pitchers and catchers, position players report to spring training, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I've had this injury for the last 6 months. I'm like, why are you saying this now?
Well, okay. With Cole, I get it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's only got, 2 years left on the contract or 3 years left on the contract?
4 years.
4 years. If he pitches, if he somehow waits it through, he might get to pitch this season. There's a possibility Tanaka was able to play around with that for years. If he gets the surgery, he's out for 2 years. Year and a half at least.
Yeah, they said that he might not come back until June of this year.
Right. So, maybe we could play around with it.
Here's what I said, though. I'd rather Garrett Cole have Tommy John surgery now than instead pitch until June and oh, yeah, you need it, and then be out for a year and a half.
The rest of it.
Well, I think what's going to happen is he's not going to pitch until July or August. And they're going to shoot him up with whatever they can. And they're going to hope he's in the playoff run. If, on the other hand, the Yankees are not in the playoff race and have no chance, July or August, he'll have Tommy John surgery. Yeah. That's, I don't know this. Cashman hasn't spoken to me. But I would guess if he thinks they have a shot, he's not getting surgery until the next season. Or at the end of the playoffs. Hopefully at the end of the World Series when they win. Gil, this kid's always going to have injury problems. He looks like he's that guy. That's unfortunate.
It is. Because I really like his stuff. And when he's out there and he's pitching well, he's electric.
Yeah, so that's definite. But with Stanton, it's just, this is worse than any of the other seasons. Because they say he's probably out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have certain things that you can do. Do you say, hey, look, Dominguez can't field. There's no way, you don't get better.
He's a
bad fielder. Don't tell me he'll be better in center field. There's no way he's going to be better in center field. He can't field.
No.
So we have a unique opportunity. Do we say, you know what, buddy? Let's just try DH. Let's see if you can hit a curveball. Let's give you a shot. Play DH. We have an opening. Stanton's out.
Yeah.
Could go there. And then let's give Spencer a shot.
Spencer Jones? I don't see why not.
Give him a shot.
You can have a Tom Brady moment.
You don't know.
Anything can happen.
Or there's this other kid. This other guy is about 40 years old named J.D. Martinez, who's a professional hitter. And basically the last few years, before there was Ohtani, J.D. stepped in and played the game. Before there was a Soto, there was a J.D. Martinez there last year. Bring him in.
I don't see why not. I don't care about the luxury tags. They do not have a good lineup.
No, and this guy's a professional hitter. This guy could walk out of bed and hit 280 with 20. I mean,
easily.
Bring him in. Or you could go the young guy thing and hope JD doesn't get signed by someone else for a little while and just see how it works. Then you got your other problem. Third base. You have Oswaldo, who's a nice fielder, tries real hard, gives you 100% effort.
Mm-hmm.
But that kid's a 240 hitter with maybe 10 or 12 home runs. And if you have a great lineup, you could probably live with that. Unfortunately, you don't have a great lineup. So I don't know if you can.
No.
Yeah, the other kid, Peraza, who was very rookie season for 30 or 40 at-bats, did hit 300. Might get some power. Seems to be a good fielder. Had some injuries. I don't want you to platoon him.
No.
I want you to give one the job.
No, you're going to get rid of their confidence between both of those players because they've just been up and down for the last 2 years without having an actual opportunity to play.
Right. Now you have the other kid, the superstar, ready to go, Lombardi Jr. there.
Dude, that kid is awesome.
Now, do you say, screw it, let's throw him. Let's put him at third. And he's the best talent of the three. Let's see what he could do. What do you think on that? Good spring training so far.
He is. But then again, I said Kyle Higashioka had a great spring training a couple of years ago when he had 6 home runs and he sucked. So I would think, because he's 19 years old, let him start in the minors, let him progress. And if the Yankees have nothing to play for, you bring him up.
And then we have, what's his name, who played first base and can catch?
Ben Rice?
Yeah. So he's going to be a backup catcher this year. And backup first baseman, it looks like.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I like what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I think he just got put in a bad position last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they said, here you go at first base, and I don't think he was ready yet.
No. I think
I like his swing. I give him another shot.
He gets on base. He works the count. He can do it.
So then you have another kid. Probably the runner-up at Rookie of the Year last year was Austin Wells. Now, will Austin Wells be the guy the second half on who was a 300 hitter who looked like he could pound out 20 home runs? Now remember, he had this guy named Soto in front of him. and he had a guy named Stanton after him. Now he doesn't have that protection. Is he the real deal?
Well, they want to try him at leadoff. They've been doing that during spring training, which is kind of odd, honestly.
Stupid.
No,
Yeah,
they're
how
trying
do you
to
get a
think.
team without a leadoff hitter? It's the stupidest. You had him at cleanup last year, and you're gonna make him the leadoff hitter? Please.
I would make Jazz the leadoff hitter.
Except Jazz doesn't get on base. He's gonna have like a 280 OBP with a 240 average.
Yeah.
No, but it'll hype everyone up.
Jazz is fun. I'll give him that.
No, he's
I mean, we
such
got
an electric player.
the guy that, if you're going to go with like Peraza and see if he can hit, try and see if you can get a leadoff hitter out of him. And again, if they thought Dominguez was going to be great, he would be the leadoff hitter. But I still don't think that kid's going to hit for an average either. I think he might hit 30 home runs and bat 190. So, I think it might be the case of another hyped up Yankee player who's never going to be the guy that they said he was. I hope I'm wrong. But I see a lot of Frazier in him.
I love Frazier. I really liked him. I wanted him to do so well.
Best baseball swing around. Should have been a great hitter.
Fastest baseball swing. Yeah, no, he couldn't do that.
Tossed salads, scrambled eggs.
Terrible fielder. He was awful. Bad attitude. Everybody in the team hated him. Didn't make a lot of friends in the Yankee neighborhood. So I just hope this kid isn't like him. So on the positive side, we have a closer this year.
A great closer.
Yes. And Weaver showed that kid could play. So maybe we have a high-end setup guy too.
I think their bullpen's going to be their strength this year.
Because think about it. What do we have? 12 blown saves last year. I think we led the league in blown saves.
Well, 10 of them were from the
Clay
Mets
Holmes.
starting pitcher, Clay Holmes.
Who is going to win 15 games this year? We all know that.
He looks great as a starter.
Of course he does. We've seen this before. We've seen guys like David Wells and Kenny Rogers and these guys, Charlie Huff, who started out, they weren't really good closers and they turned out to be great starters down the line. Yeah. But he wasn't going to be great for us, so I can't worry about that. But I am going to say if we could get, instead of 12 blown saves, we go down to 4 blown saves, get 8 more wins that way. And I don't see why we can't do that. And maybe Loaiza stays healthy this year.
I really hope he does.
Again, he's a Yankee, so he probably won't. But, we have trainers that get you hurt versus getting you better.
It's kind of crazy. From last year's lineup to this year's lineup, losing a guy like Soto is going to hurt a lot. It really is.
Now, we did bring in 2 MVPs. And, let's say Goldschmidt only had 1 bad season, really. Last year wasn't great, and he still was twice as good as what we had.
Yeah.
He might hit 30 home runs and hit 280.
He looks good right now.
Maybe he found some fountain of youth. Maybe he has something to prove. And I think he does. Hey, screw you, Cardinals. Screw you, baseball. You guys didn't want me? I'm still an MVP. Let me show you why.
I'm excited for Bellinger, too. So
another
excited.
former MVP who wanted to be a Yankee. Maybe he says, I really want to be a Yankee. And says, you know what, I could get that MVP season back. Because those 2 guys hit. You got your replacements. They're there. You can make up the home runs. You still don't have a leadoff hitter though. And I don't think Volpe's ever going to be more than a 250 hitter. And I don't think his on base is going to ever be more than 310. So he's not a leadoff hitter, despite all Yankee fandom. Oh, just put Volpe there. No. You don't give up an out every time.
No, he's a good 6 or 7 hitter.
Or even 9. just because he can
Even
get on
nine,
base and
yeah.
has a little power. Jazz might end up being a cleanup hitter, to be honest.
Which is scary because he's inconsistent. But
yeah, but he gets you going. He's fun.
well, no, he even when he strikes out, he's a ball of energy.
And he's a streaky hitter. He'll hit 4 home runs in a week, and then he might not hit another one for 5 more weeks. So, but he's a great fielder. Can play pretty much every position. Good guy to have on the team. Everybody likes him. He's a lot of fun. So that's good. But, the other guy that they keep talking about is the kid on the, Padres, who's won the batting title 3 years in a row.
Arise.
Yeah. You have a leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Those trade
By the way,
talks are
good thing
really
you
bad.
didn't trade Stroman for nothing because now you need him.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot to prove.
Sure does.
He's playing for a contract. He was really dissed by the Yankees this whole offseason. I mean, they really were mean to him.
Yeah.
They basically said, leave, please. Anybody take him. Just please take his salary.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, now he's arguably the number 4 pitcher, I guess. Warren's probably going to be number 5. At least at this moment. So
he looks good right now.
he always looks good the first half, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's the problem with Stroman. He's
I'm
made the
gonna
All-Star
go-
team.
I'm going to go McLaughlin on you.
Go ahead.
Do the Yankees have what it takes to beat the Mets in the World Series?
No.
Not
And
today.
what do they need to fill up this gap at this moment? Because I'm saying the Mets are the team to beat coming into this season.
Over the Dodgers?
I'm taking it.
He just hates the Dodgers, so it's not really.
No, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the Mets are having an energy coming into it out of last season. They're hungry. They've got a good roster. I know they've got some weaknesses. The Mets have something going on. I'm calling them in October.
The Mets
I
have
think-
no starting pitching.
They have no pitching.
They have no
Period.
starting pitching at all. The only thing that's going to work for them is their really good lineup. Other than that, they got nothing.
I don't see the Mets. I think the Yankees, Max Fried has to stay healthy. God forbid he goes down.
Oh, my God.
Rodon has to stay, and he has to be consistent. At least as good as he was last year. At least.
Yeah.
Can Stroman possibly stay healthy and not die the second half of the season like he always does? What's his name? Schmidt, our other kid. Can he stay healthy? Because he hasn't proven he could stay healthy either. Got great stuff. He could be a 20-game winner maybe if he's healthy. So I still think that the pitching could be and has to be the Yankees' strength. I don't see them scoring a lot of runs. I think they're going to live and die on the home run. And I pretty much have to say they need to get some other players. This might be the worst hitting team in baseball. They might have the lowest batting average in the history of the Yankees if they don't bring something in here. That's my fear on the Yankees.
Hey, but they can have beards now.
They can't have beards.
Yeah, ever since I feel like ever since they implemented the beard rule, everyone is starting to go down.
Put it back in.
So, I'll give you one other thing. I think their starting infield will have a great fielding team.
Oh yeah.
Judge is a great fielder. Cody Bellinger is a very good fielder. Then we have a problem. Spencer looks like he could be a really good fielder. Spencer Jones. If the Martian's out there, we will have terrible left field.
We haven't had a good left fielder in like many years.
Yeah, I mean, Brett Gardner could field, but he was really a center fielder too. Played some left. It's been a very long time. So, the Yankees, we'll have to see. I think there's going to be some other moves down the path here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they get cap room if, and again, this is capology. If Cole goes down for the season and gets Tommy John, do they get some cap relief to replace his spot on the roster?
I don't know.
Or Stanton, for that matter. Because if they both get surgery and they're out for the entire season, I don't know what the rule is for cap relief. I think there should be something. That would be something that would make some sense.
I think they still get paid regardless if they get injured.
Well, I know they get paid. I'm talking about cap relief as far as the penalty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I say cap relief, I mean penalty relief. So in other words, if you lost, in this case it would be like almost 50-something million dollars in salary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Salary players, those two guys alone. Can you get $10 million in relief to sign somebody? That you still have to pay the $10 million, but you don't get the penalty on the $10 million.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And I don't know the rules on that.
I have no idea either. You might know it more than me because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I know there's something that you could get with some, but I don't know what baseball does with it. There's other sports where they do give you some salary. I know basketball has some of that, where they can give you some relief if a guy goes down for the season. So we'll see.
So speaking of other sports, just really quick to drop in on this. Not even to get into the deep details on this, but more on the just like, this is crazy side. Over the weekend, the Boston Bruins traded away their captain, Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Trading away your captain. Let's discuss for a moment.
Sure.
What does that speak about, like, mid-season?
Can I make a statement on that? It shows a nice franchise. Now, I'm gonna be serious. This guy doesn't have too many more times that he can win a championship. And the Bruins aren't going anywhere.
No.
They sent him to a team that can win a championship. I think that that's saying, hey, thank you. We appreciate you. And go win a championship. We're behind you. I think he gave them the permission. He's not getting traded if he didn't want to be. That's my opinion. I don't think this was a diss. I don't think it was a disservice. I think it was, hey, thank you for the great years. Thank you for being a great leader. Go out and win a championship for yourself on the way home. That's my opinion.
This whole Bruins thing is crazy. Literally 2 years ago, they had one of the greatest regular seasons ever.
They had the greatest regular season.
The greatest regular, only to lose to the Panthers, which is even more crazy.
Who ended up being a great team.
Yeah, exactly. And then they became a better team the next season when they won it all.
When they won the championship.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of stoked.
We were there.
Yeah.
We were in Florida when that happened.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we were in Miami.
That's cool.
So that was kind of cool. We'll be in Miami this year too, 24th through the 26th.
This month?
June.
I wish.
Yeah, I could use it now. I went a year. 1 year. First time in my life, I had no sinus infections. 0. Got the damn sinus infection exactly a year.
Yeah, and you gave it to my goddamn computer, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, apologies for the sound tonight, everybody. It's one of these things where you have to restart the computer, but I had 3 other people on a call that was already 2 minutes late. So that happened, so I'll just apologize for that now.
Hour 25 into it? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, I didn't get injured at all this week, so I call that a win.
That is a win.
Hey!
No injury, no illness. Maybe the closest to an illness was I thought I had food poisoning on Friday night, but I ended up okay.
Hey!
I think James is getting all these injuries. He got engaged, and all of a sudden, every single week, he's had these issues.
Yeah.
But thank God, James is good. This is a very positive thing. So let's see. It's 9:27. Corey, you're playing a fundraiser St. Patrick's Day on Saturday, right?
Yes.
What confidence you have in that? Do you know where you're playing?
I'm pulling that up now.
Oh.
It's in Windsor, I believe.
Yeah, I know that part. Oh yeah, Windsor.
But-
apparently my sound has been echoey all night because I couldn't get my fucking board to work.
But yeah, so Corey, you got a gig this weekend. It will be a duo show with Sweet Pete.
Love me
By
some
the way,
Pete.
Pete was fantastic the week before playing with the Dilemma Band.
In Stowe.
In Stowe. We had a good time. And this last weekend, we played at the Hermitage, the only privately owned mountain by the community in the country. Magnificent place, beautiful, gorgeous place. But it was just really nice. So that was cool. We went to Yankee Candle,
It's a good
which
place.
is always a cool little. On the way home, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's go to Yankee Candle. It's kind of like being in Epcot or
I feel like I
Small
go
World
there.
Afterworld.
I go there like twice a year because Shannon's always wanting to go there, and it's a nice place. I like it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a neat place to go. It smells good. It's nice. So, yeah, and I want to say thanks again to
Wolfhound,
Aaron.
by the way.
Wait, what?
The Wolfhound, by the way, is the
Oh, where
place
you're
where I
playing
play.
on Saturday. Beautiful.
And you can check that all out on DilemmaBand.com, along with the full calendar, videos, links, and all of those things that I didn't plug earlier in the episode.
No, but really cool that Aaron came on, KLOS Guitars. And we're going to try to have some of these cool music companies come on every week or so to try and, just give the people that do watch us out there, a lot of them are musicians, and, show them some of these other brands, because we've had the privilege to be able to go out to NAMM and really learn about some great companies that people don't know about. And in the case of KLOS, everybody should own at least a travel guitar. If nothing else, own the travel. It's great. But on that note, Corey, it is 9:30.
James, quick, did you do your plug?
I did not do my plug.
Yes, do your plug.
Do your
Yes,
plug.
I'll do. Common Everyday People podcast every week. Last week we talked about the importance of a guy's night out and how sports fundamentals are dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And,
The TLDR, yes and yes.
Yeah, exactly. I do have one question. The show in Vermont, was there any mosh pits? Were there people being thrown?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, no, the last weekend, no. The
No,
weekend prior,
the weekend before was just, it was crazy.
men, women, everybody.
Which, by the way, Dave Schultz, shout out to Dave. Dave is like the greatest TikTok finder of any videos that are out there.
Instagram, he finds
Oh my God, is there-
Dave found, Schultz found a lot of those people who were being thrown up in the air in the mosh pits, who said they loved the band, they loved the time, and we were in their videos, and a lot of people posted videos from around the country who were there that weekend, so it was kind of cool. By the way, Corey, Kelly wanted to know about the Teddy Bear Still Destination in Vermont.
Oh, isn't that the teddy bear store that they advertise on, like, Howard Stern all the time?
They did have the teddy bear in the Build-A-Bear in the Yankee Candle.
Yankee Candle Factory.
They did have that.
Very cute.
And yes, there was guys and girls night out. It was guys night out, girls day out, and then back to guys night out. Actually, the last show was kind of mixed, but the first show was all dudes. It was horrible. The second show, very pretty girls. The third show was a mixture.
No, what? Great crew all around. Great people. Love to see it.
It was a great time.
I'm still not fully recovered from it.
Well, my throat's not recovered from it. That I can assure.
I can tell. And with that in mind, let's get you to bed. All right. Good night, y'all. It's Dilem-Monday. We'll catch you next Dilem-Monday. Peace.
Ciao.